sharire brahmani bhagavati Vishuddhe Mahapurusha Rupa Palakshane Srivatsa Kaustuba Vanamaleri Dhara Gudhadbir Upalakshite Nijas Purusha Likite Namani Purusha Rupena Virochamana Uchestharam Bhaktir Anudinam Edhamana Rajata. Difficult for me to recite. Anyway, so we'll read a translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta from Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Synonyms. Evam, thus, karma vishuddhaya, by offering everything for the service of the Supreme Personality Godhead and not desiring any results of his pious activities. Vishuddha Sattvasya, of the Bharata Maharaj, whose existence was completely purified, Antha Hridaya Aksha Sharire, the super soul within the heart, as meditated on by yogis. Brahmani, into impersonal Brahman, which is worshipped by impersonalist jnanis. Bhagavati, unto the Supreme Personality Godhead. Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva. Lord Krishna, Mahapurusha, of the Supreme Person. Rupa, of the form. Upalakshane, having the symptoms. Srivatsa, the mark on the chest of the Lord. Kaustubha, the Kaustubha gem used by the Lord. Vanamala, the flower garland. Aridhara, by the disc and conch shell. Gada Adibihi, by the club and other symbols. Upalakshite, being recognized. Nija Purusha Riti Likithena, which is situated on the heart of his own devotees like an engraved picture. Atmani, in his own mind. Purusha Rupena, by his personal form. Virochamane, shinings. Uchastarama, on the very high level. Bhakti, devotional service. Anudinam, day after day. Yedhamana, increasing. Raya, the possessing force. Ajayata, appeared. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this way, being purified by the ritualistic sacrifices, the heart of Maharaj Bharat was completely uncontaminated. His devotional service unto Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, increased day by day. Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is original personality of Godhead, manifest as the Super Paramatma, as well as the impersonal Brahman. Yogis meditate upon localized Paramatma situated in the heart. Jnanis worship impersonal Brahman as the supreme absolute truth. And the devotees worship Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality Godhead, whose transcendental body is described in the Shastras. His body is decorated with the Srivatsa, the Kaustubha jewel, and the flower garland, and his hands hold conch shell, disc, club, and lotus flower. Devotees like Narada always think of him within the hearts. Purport. Lord Vasudeva or Shri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is the Supreme Personality Godhead. He is manifest within the hearts of yogis in his Paramatma feature and is worshipped as impersonal Brahman by jnanis. The Paramatma feature is described in the Shastra as having 4 hands, holding disc, conch shell, lotus flower, and club. As confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.2.2, Kechit Swa Dehantara Hridaya Pradesh Matra Purusham Vasuntam Chaturbujam Kancha Ratnanga Shankha Gadadhara Dharanaya Smaranti. Paramatma is situated in the hearts of living beings. He has 4 hands, which holds 4 symbols, weapons. All devotees who think of Paramatma within the heart worship the Supreme Personality Godhead as the temple deity. They also understand that impersonal features of the Lord and his bodily rays and Brahman effulgences. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militamena Tasme Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namini Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome you all for Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are going to discuss the activities of Bharat Maharaj. Here in this particular sloka is explained how Bharat Maharaj is purified. So translation Prabhupada writes that in this way, being purified by the ritualistic sacrifices, the heart of Maharaj Bharat was completely uncontaminated. So in the previous verse, we can see that how he performed various sacrifices and how he purified himself. So then this says his devotional service unto Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, is increased day after day. So from this translation, few points we can discuss how we should, in our day-to-day life as a sadhakas, take this point as a practicing devotees. First of all, talking about various ritualistic activities. So, of course, for us in Kali Yuga, the main ritualistic activity is given chanting the holy name, Harinam Sankirtana. That is the purifying force for us. So, like Bharat Maharaj did so many other ritualistic activities, but for us, the chanting the holy name, Sankirtana, the holy name is the key. So, because Kali Yuga, nothing else can work. So, that can purify our existence. So, like Bharat Maharaj is completely uncontaminated. So, all the contamination in our heart can get purified by the chanting the holy name. So it says devotional service Vasudeva Lord Krishna increased day after day. So similarly, our bhakti towards Lord, the devotion to the Lord should increase day by day. It's not an stagnant. It should not happen that we stay one place. It should go, increase. So our eagerness, laulyam, should increase. That's why Acharya says we should have a laulya, we should have a greed for devotional service. Greed means not grab somebody's, greed to increase the devotional service, greed to do more and more for Krishna. So that is what is will help us to progress. Like in the corporate world, those who worked in corporate world, we see the continuous improvement. It's not that we set objective for, say, for example, 100 crore this year. Next year, it'll be 150 crores. Similarly, our bhakti has to increase day by day. So like Bharat Maharaj saying, it's increased day after day. So that is a learning we can take here. Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is the original personality Godhead manifest as a super soul Paramatma. So he's talking about Paramatma. We'll try to discuss few points about Paramatma. What is the role of Paramatma? why Paramatma in the heart, and also in the Prabhupada quotes from the second canto, we can read Prabhupada purport in that particular verse, what Prabhupada quoted here in the his purport. So further says, Super Soul Paramatma as well as impersonal Brahman. Yogis meditate upon localized Paramatma situated in the hearts. Jnanis worship the impersonal Brahman as a supreme absolute truth. The different levels, three level, Brahmeti, Paramatmiti, Bhagavaniti. So that's the three levels being explained. We can discuss, some points on that. So further it says, devotees worship Vasudeva, Supreme Personality Godhead, whose transcendental body is described in the Shastras. His body is decorated with the Srivatsa, Kaustubha, jewel, and flower garland. His hands holds conch shell, disc, club, and lotus flower. Devotees like Narada always think of him within their hearts. So again, the last point. So devotees like Narada always think of him. So we as a practicing devotees, we can follow the footstep of Narada Muni, always think of Paramatma, and increase our bhakti towards him. So this is the translation. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about the second canto, second chapter, 8th verse. So we'll try to read that later. So now Prabhupada also talks about the three levels. So the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, the 11th verse. Vadanti tat tattvatas vedas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sadhyate. The learned transcendentalist who know that absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So in that purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, I'll try to read the Srila Prabhupada's purport on this. So absolute truth is both subject and object. So, we can understand Prabhupada's words is very, very specific and very clear. Absolute truth is subject as well as object, and there is no qualitative difference there. So whether subject or object, there is no difference. Therefore, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are qualitatively one and the same. So there is examples are given how sunlight and the sun disk and sun god himself. So how to understand this Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So how sunlight comes in is Brahman realization, and sun disk itself Paramatma realization, and then the sun god itself is a Bhagavan realization. That example given. Also as example given how train, when you are in a railway station, that from the far, the train comes, the light comes, that's the Brahman realization. When the train comes and stands, we can see the train, which is Paramatma realization. And when we enter the train and see inside the facilities, that is Bhagavan realization. So here, in this particular purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, the same substance realized impersonal Brahman by the students of Upanishads as a localized Paramatma, by the Hiranyagarbha, the yogis, and Bhagavan by the devotees. So Srila Prabhupada has given us the last realization, Bhagavan realization, because other realization says nothing difference that, but it's easy. It's a straightforward. We don't have to go through. We don't have to see from the far. We don't have to, we imagine everything is there when you realize it. So Bhagavan realization is ultimate. We'll discuss few points on this in the later. So further in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, in other words, Bhagavan or the personality Godhead, the last word of absolute truth. So for us, a practicing devotees, Bhagavan realization, like in the translation, he says, Narada Muni realized, Narada Muni always thinks about that. So we have to follow in that footstep. So Prabhupada writes that Paramatma is a partial representation of personality of Godhead, and impersonal Brahman is a glowing effulgence of personality Godhead. As the sun rays are to the sun god, less intelligent student of either of the above school something argue in favor of their own respective realization. But those who are perfect seers of the absolute truth knows well that there are three features of the one absolute truth are different perspective of views seen from the different angles version. So Prabhupada in the purport concludes saying that this is the absolute truth is the same. It's only the different perspective to see that. So it doesn't mean that absolute truth changes. So in this perspective, we try to discuss. I was hearing a lecture by His Holiness Bhakti Char Swami Maharaj. So he says that this is the three versions. It's only seeing from a distance. It's understanding how close I am. So example, the same example, whether sun rays or train. Example, when I see the light, I'm far away. I'm very far. And when I see the sun disk, I'm little closer. But when I see the sun god, I'm very close. Similarly, the train. When I see the train from the far, I'm far. I'm far from the Lord. So when a train comes, the Paramatma realization, I'm little close. But when I enter the train, that is real Bhagavan realization, I'm very close. So this each point we can understand how close we are to the Lord. So that is a point here. So we have to be very, very close to that point, the Lord. So when we are close to the Lord, we are able to, understand Bhagavan properly. Like Prabhupada says, if you want to understand, like he says in Bhagavata, if you want to understand Krishna, we have to get mood of Arjuna. Arjuna was so close because he was 24/7, 365 thinking about Krishna only. So that is the closeness when you develop. That is the Bhagavan realization. So that Bhagavan realization, it should be internalized, means it should be kind of a transform my heart, because something very close to my heart will be, very dear to me. Like in Ramayana, we know the pastimes. When Hanuman went to Lord Ram, he saw there is a big list of devotees where Hanuman could not see his name. And he went to Lord Ram, my Lord, why my name is not there? Then Lord takes another small chit from his pocket. He says, this is what. See, those lists are devotees, they love me. And this is what I love. Because he is very close to that. Similarly, Hanuman is always very close to the Lord, because that's the reason Ram loved him so much. Whatever it is, Lord always loved, Hanuman. Of course, Lord loves everybody. But because Hanuman's love for him, so he's so dear to him. So that is the, kind of aspiration we should develop. We should love the Lord such a way that Lord, should be able to, Lord should not have any option but to love you. So that is a service we should do. So that is because when we do internalize, when we transform our heart, the love should come from the heart. So that is what it can bind us in loving devotion. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena says, Brahma Samhita says, so our complete activities should be a tinge of love. There should not be any lust or desire for sense gratification. So here also in Bharat Maharaj, the purport in the translation, it says, Bharat Maharaj had no other desire. Like Rupa Goswami says, Anyabhilashita shunya jnana karmadi anavrutam anukulena anushilana bhakti rutam. Anyabhilashita. So there is no abhilasha. There is only abhilasha, anukulena anushilana. That is the only abhilasha. That is bhakti. So that is completely internalized. So whole our devotional service should be transform heart. That's why if you see Prabhupada's, those who read Prabhupada's books, they become devotees. We can see, Prabhupada also writes in Bhagavad, there are so many Gitas in the market. At that time, he writes more than 600 maybe. But after reading that, how many of them become devotees? That means there is no transformation. They might have got some knowledge. That knowledge which doesn't transform the heart has no use. So that's why so there are people in the market today, there are so many degrees. They may speak big, big things, but what is that conveying? Achar, prachar. If they don't practice it, their talk will not affect your heart. It may give some knowledge. That knowledge which is not connected to the Supreme Lord, knowledge which has not transformed our heart, which is not used. That's why other day we were discussing, somebody was saying, people get so many PhDs. So they say PhD means permanently head damaged. PhD, permanently head damaged, means they get more and more knowledge and their ego, their ahankara, their proud increases. Like in other places, it said that every snake has got poison, but the snake with the jewel, Kalinga Sarpa, has got more poison. Similarly, all of us, maybe different levels, the Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara is there, practicing, but our purpose is to get rid of them. But when we get this unwanted material knowledge, I'm saying very specific, unwanted material the knowledge, because material knowledge is required for our day-to-day work, but unwanted, unnecessary, atyahara on that is increases our poison. So that's what we should work. So there is no point in thinking of external, it should be internal. So that's why Paramatma helps in that perspective. So Bhakta has to internalize our, transformation heart, because Paramatma is there in every living entity. He is our constant companion. Like he'll never leave. It said that whether it is in the smallest, the living entity or any atom is there. And he is so dear to us, because whichever life I take, whichever body I take, he comes along with me. Whether I'm a worm in the stool, there also he comes. So that is the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord as Paramatma, because he's constant companion, so that he watches me. He kind of always sees, and what I'm doing. And he is such Chaitya Guru. He guides me throughout my life, so that his only purpose of coming is that one day, please come back to me, that abode of mine, Goloka Vrindavan. So that is the purpose. He is not coming to enjoy. He is just inspiring. Please, please come back to me. That is your eternal house. Like Dasara says, Allirudu Nimmane, Illirudu Sumane. So that is what he is coming. So in Bhagavad-gita, 13th chapter, the 23rd verse, he says, Udara stanumanta cha bharat bharta bhokta maheshwara paramatmeti chapi yukto dehe asmin purusha paraha udarasta upadrasta anumantha. Upadrasta means is properly translates as overseer. He is upadrasta. He is overseeing. He is overseeing all our activities. And at the same time, is anumantha, is a permitter. Now, we may argue that if he is a permitter, is he responsible for my activities? No, because I'm the one desiring. That's why I'm responsible. So he is overseeing, but is permitter, and also is a bharta, master. Like, Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Bhokta Rajatapasa Sarvaloka Maheshwara Suhridam Sarvabhutana Jnatvam Shantirachati says. He is the master and he is the Bhokta, supreme enjoyer, and he is the super soul, he is supreme Lord. And he is there in this body wherever I go. Prabhupada translates writes that, yet in this body there is another transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, supreme proprietor, who exists as overseer and permitter, and who is known as a super soul. That Paramatma is our overseer, and is our Anumanta, is a permitter, and is a master. He is there as a Chaitya Guru, everybody's heart. He is always, we know the different gurus, but the Chaitya Guru is always there with us. and he is there to inspire me. Whatever I'm doing something wrong, he immediately gives me that, knowledge. Sometime, we can experience something I'm doing wrong. That we get a prick in our heart. Yes, you are doing wrong. But due to various reasons, time, place, circumstances, or sense enjoyment, or my ego, I may do something wrong out of, some of my own, bad qualities. But he gives a knowledge. He kind of inspires me. He kind of motivates me not to do that, so that we can take up Krishna consciousness. He directs me to right path, to Guru Sadhu Shastra. He inspires others because Paramatma is there in everybody's hearts. He inspires other devotees to go, please inspire this person, because we are being come to the bhakti because some devotees. But the Prabhupada writes, from bhakta only bhakti comes. Because somebody has come and inspired me. Somebody come and given that mercy. Srila Prabhupada book or Srila Prabhupada's lectures or various aspects of association is gone. So it is he, Paramatma, inspired other devotees to come and inspire me or take me out of this material suffering. So he is there every place. And more than that, he is watching us, so that we don't, get carried away. So many times what happens that he gives a fear also, because something doing wrong, he gives a fear. So with that fear, we come back to, Krishna consciousness, we develop love. Generally in the market, we can, in the society, we can see people, they are God-fearing people. Because of very reason, they think that, okay, if I do wrong, I'll be punished. But at least for that sake, they will stop that. But once that fear converts into love, that becomes devotional service. So when we do devotional service, everything becomes love. So for that, the devotee association helps. When the devotees, because there also he as a Paramatma, he inspires others. So the devotee association takes me from the fear to love, or lust to love. So slowly my progress happens like Bharat Maharaj, day by day, by this Guru and Sadhu Shastra, by devotion service, my sadhana, I'm slowly from fear to love developing. And he's there like, watching, like, we know CCTV. It's always, CCTV is kept so that keep and watch. In the office also, they keep CCTV so that the boss can watch what the staff are doing, or we put on the outside the road so that any thieves are coming. Similarly, he's like CCTV. He is watching us and everything recorded. If at all, if I go back to, Yamaraj, that Chitragupta will give complete my recording. So Paramatma is recording and Chitragupta also recording. So Paramatma just not recording, he immediately gives a feedback also. So, there is one TV advertisement, Upar wala sab kuch dekhta hai. That's a TV advertisement. So that's a fact. He is watching. There is no way we can escape him. I think there is one story in Mahabharata when Dronacharya asked, Yudhishthira and Duryodhana, I gave a mango and go and eat this mango where nobody can see. Yudhishthira Maharaj came back and said that, no, I could not find any place because everywhere Krishna is there. Of course, Duryodhana had an opposite. So the point is that Krishna as Paramatma is seeing all our activities. He is guiding us and he's there every aspect of our life. But this transformation should happen so that our the material rules and regulations should transform into devotional rules and regulations. Prabhupada has given us certain do's and don'ts and certain things to be done. So in the material life also, we have so many do's and don'ts. If you go to corporate life or anywhere, there are so many laws, so many acts, but the real the rule is what Prabhupada has given. What is the basics of our life? So, like we have to continuously aspire to follow the rules of Krishna, follow the rules of Paramatma. When we do that, and we naturally develop love for him. At the same time, we should, continuously improve. We should not be stagnant. Like, for example, the birds in the nest, we can see the bird, when it's small, mother bird comes and feeds. But when the bird, the small bird, the baby bird, when little becomes big, the mother bird start pushing the baby bird. Come on, start flying now. Go. You don't sit there. That should be our mood. Our moods that I should not be like a baby bird, always sitting and get spoon fed. I should come out, should start doing something. Like Prabhupada, he said all his disciples, go out, preach. Don't stay in one place. Go move. Same mood we should develop. We should push ourselves. How like mother bird pushes the baby bird. We should push ourselves, or at the same time we push others also. Like Prabhupada says, my Guru Maharaj pushed me, I am pushing you. That means that I'm not pushing out of this ISKCON. So point is that pushing slowly, because that push has to be there. Otherwise we get stagnant. So that inspiration also Paramatma gives, and we should push ourselves so that, like Bharat Maharaj, day by day, we should improve our sadhana, day by day, improve our preaching activity, day by day, improve our devotional service, so that we have become close to the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, we will be stagnant and we will not know when I am stopping my activity, because our brain is such that unless activity is given, it will kind of idle mind, as devil workshop is said. No? So we should have continuously back to back activities, because he as a Paramatma is there as a well-wisher. He knows everything what I am thinking. He knows everything what I am wishing. He knows what all my desires. But he is such a very, very integrate part of us, and he is so, what you call, never leaks my secret. So many secrets I may have in heart. I mean, really wonderful, right? So he knows everything. He has seen everything what I'm doing. He watching me everything, but at the same time, he doesn't leak. I'm such a chartered accountant. We have integrity. One client's information we are not supposed to share with others. I know that's a part of integrity, because sensitivity of information. So whereas Paramatma here is there throughout our life. How many sins I have done. I may be thinking that nobody knows, but he knows. I can cheat anybody. I can cheat maybe myself, but I cannot cheat Paramatma. He is there always. And the most important thing is that he never does the gossip. It does, like in the material world, if somebody knows secret of somebody, immediately there is a possibility that we may talk about it. That's why, the gossiping Prabhupada is very, very, condemning. We should not do it. So he doesn't do that. He keeps everything with him. Like today's media, we can see, right? They give, they get little sensation information, or they flare it up such a that in the throughout the day that message will be given. That's all kind of a negative only. But because people like to hear, people like to see that. So that's why, but whereas Paramatma doesn't do that. He keeps everything so secret, and he continuously maintains that. And he's so trustworthy. I can, at any cost, I can trust him, because he doesn't, do anything wrong for me. He's always my well-wisher. He's like Bhakta Raja, he's a real suhrad. He's a real friend. And he doesn't see any of my mistakes. Like it said that Nimisha Animisha. Like in Prabhupada, Prabhupada, some other acharyas, I forgot who, gave a nice example. Jagannath. Jagannath has got big eyes, so that he sees only the good of a devotee. When a devotee does something, oh, that my devotee has done so wonderful, so nice. He's with big eyes. Similarly, Sri Ranganatha. So he closed eyes. All my offenses, all my sinful activities, he closed. He doesn't see that. He sees only good of it. So Nimisha, Animsha. Same example we see, right? When Putana came to kill Krishna. No, actually, initially when Putana came, Krishna was so happy, but because he knew what's her past. As in the previous life, Balimara's sister, she wanted Krishna as a son when Vamanadev came. So she had a desire to mother, but here she had desire to kill him also. So he gave her kind of a motherly place in the heaven, his abode. So that is how Krishna takes our what do you call, our mood, such that he sees only good part of it. Her desire to kill is ignored. Her desire to have him as a son, because came breastfeed, he gave motherly abode. So that's how Krishna sees that. As a Paramatma, he always sees the good part. In Damodar Leela, we generally, we narrate the story of a rat who lights a lamp, and because of his burn, no, it's not even lighting. He wanted to eat wicks, which is burning, and he burns and dances. And Krishna sees that, oh, my dear, this the rat is dancing for me, offering lamp for me. So this is the mood in which Krishna sees, Paramatma sees that. So in Chaitanya Leela also, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has kind of defeated all this great, whether Keshav Bharati, Keshav Pandit, or Keshav Kashmiri. Keshav Kashmiri or Prakasharan Saraswati, all this, but he did this so humility without hurting the ego, because he is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord himself. He knows what is there in the heart of other person. So that is the preaching activity Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. So our plans also, our plans for preaching also should be such that time, place, circumstances, how understanding the other side, we should kind of adopt our plan such a way that otherwise our plans of no use. In a particular place says we should plan for Krishna service, not plan for my own sense gratification. When I plan for my sense gratification, Krishna will laugh at, okay, go ahead, plan. You see what's going to happen. But when I plan for Krishna's service, he really blesses. He showers his mercy. He supports me because my desire is to serve him. So that is my kind of planning should be that. My day should start with okay, what can I do for Krishna today? What can I do for Prabhupada today? What service I can do? How can I please? That should be my plan. So generally, Krishna approves all our desires, whether it is bad or good, both he approves. That's why we should be very, very careful when we aspiring for also, what, or when we desire something. So when we desire something good, we should always, Krishna will approve that. But when I desire something bad, Krishna may approve that also, but that's more detrimental for my bhakti. So there was one so-called Pandit. In the Bhagavatam class, the preacher was saying that whatever you desire, or even if you don't desire, Krishna will make sure that is happen. So if you desire something, but Krishna will make sure that it happen. So this person said, no, how Krishna can make? I will desire, but I will not ensure that it's not happen. I will desire something, but I will ensure that it's not happening. So this is a kind of atheistic mentality. He said that, okay, today I'll fast. Okay, let me see whether Krishna will come and feed me. That is the kind of challenge he took. Let's see what Krishna does. So he went to the forest, sat on the tree, said, no, I will not eat anything today. Let's see whether Krishna is going to feed me today. So it's happened. He went and sat. Then there are what is that? Some thieves came. No, first kind of a tiger comes there, and all the thieves. Sorry, okay, the thieves come. So thieves saw there are some food items there. So they wanted to distribute those food, their stealings, among themselves. Then they saw there was food items. So this uh, thieves, they had a kind of thinking that maybe our opponent kept something food here, so it could be poisoned. So we cannot eat unless it's tested. So how do we test? Like in the airport, when we carry water, the security officer is open, you drink, so that you test it whether it's not poison. So similarly, this thieves thought, okay, let it be tested. So they look around, they saw this person sitting on the tree, they called him, come down. They took a knife, come down, or they'll kill you. And they made him to eat, so that they wanted to test. So this man wanted to fast that day, but because the threatening of the thieves, he had ate. So similarly, when I desire that not to do against my wishes also, if Lord wants to that, Lord can prove that also. That's why Krishna is there as a true friend. So he is there everywhere, to give us a right knowledge. So last one or two points. So yeah, okay. So in as a Paramatma, he is there to give us a knowledge. So in scriptures, normally when we study, we say that he as a supreme Brahman, he gives us a knowledge. And that knowledge is the first and foremost knowledge is that who I am. And I'm not this body, I'm the spirit soul. In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna gives this knowledge. So that's the first, the nature of Supreme Lord. He gives a knowledge, who is Lord, who I am, and he gives means to achieve, like uh, the Sambandha Jnana, Abhideya Jnana, and Prayojana, means to attain the process, and finally the result. He gives that what the result we get out of it, which is bhakti or prema of the Supreme Lord. And also he gives a knowledge that the obstruction in attaining that. So what is that hindrance for us? What is that stopping us to achieve this? So when we read about Paramatma, when we read about Bhagavan, when we read about the scriptures, we need to understand these 5 points: the nature of the Supreme Lord, and who I am, and what is the means to attain him, and what is the process of achieving him. Srila Prabhupada has given this knowledge so nicely: chanting the holy name, 16 rounds, following the 4 principles, read scriptures, do our sadhana, deity worship, offer bhoga, eat prasadam. These are the basic. But what is the result? Result that Krishna Prema, which is eternal bliss. So that is the result. And what is that obstructing us? What is that, stopping me doing this? My desire to sense gratification, my kama, krodha, mada, matsara, these are the obstruction for us. So he gives the knowledge also. How do we stop that? How do we, kind of uh, overcome that? That also he gives that. So these are the various ways Krishna helps us. So just last one, this one we can read Prabhupada's purport in the particular verse, second canto verse. Maybe just few points we can discuss possible. And just try to read. It's quite a big purport, so we'll try to read 1 or 2 points from there. Yeah. So here 2.2.8, the translation writes, others conceive the Supreme Personality Godhead residing within the heart, in this region of heart, measuring only 8 inches, and with 4 hands carrying the lotus wheel of the chariot and conch shell and club respectively. in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, the all-pervading personality of Godhead resides as a Paramatma in the heart of each and every living entity. The measurement of the localized personality Godhead is estimated to expand from the ring finger to the end of thumb. So more or less 8 inches. The form of Lord described in this verse with the distribution of different symbols, beginning from lower right hand up to the down to the lower left hand with the lotus, wheels, chariot, conch shell, etc. explains. So the point is that size of the Paramatma has been explained here. So that's how Paramatma is there in our heart with that size. So just to conclude today's discussion, Paramatma is there, and we can realize Bhagavan, Paramatma, or Bhagavan, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti. And Prabhupada says all these are different versions of understanding, but Bhagavan is the ultimate, version to ultimate way to understand the absolute truth. And that's easy and that's the best. And also, as a Paramatma, he is there throughout our life. He is an overseer, he is a controller, and he is an approver of all activities, and he is a master. And at the same time, I can cheat anyone else, but not him, because Uparwala sab kuch dekhta hai. He has got a CCTV, so he is watching, and he is guiding me as Chaitya Guru in different activities. It's up to me to desire to serve him. If I have developed little desire to serve him, he inspires me. He inspires other devotees, other bhaktas, gurus to give me more mercy so that I can. So the conclusion is that I need to develop a little desire to serve him. Naturally, everything happens. Paramatma helps us me. With this, I'll stop here. Om Tat Sat. Any comments, corrections, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
So
Krishna.
thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful class. So nicely you covered various topics. Topic about the Paramatma, about how he is situated in the heart of all the living entities, and then how so mercifully he is coming with us always. He is a Suhruda, and then he is always there with us. And also the fact that he is overseer, so we should be conscious of it. So you brought out that point, and also he's the Anumanta, so we should accept his verdict or his sanctioning authority as well as overseeing authority. So we'll have to accept that, and then we'll have to conduct our lives. So, and also you brought out the aspect of the Paramatma, the localized Paramatma, who what is his size, and then what is his shape as in the four-handed form with the lotus club and all that. So nicely you covered those points. So thank you so much, Prabhu. And also how it becomes very important for us to purify our consciousness and keep it in Krishna, so that we will be able to transcend the material hankerings and then get out of this material world. So many points there. And then you also draw home the point by giving examples of the train to understand the 3 features of the Lord, which is a very important analogy that Prabhupada used. Thanks for that. And also how the Bhagavan feature is the ultimate in the realization of the Lord. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Now, devotees, if you could have any comments or any questions, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. But the size of the Paramatma is a little difficult to understand, Prabhu. 8 inches. Even I had heard before, but I was always wondering whether I read properly or not. But since you also repeated, it's a little difficult to understand.
That's why I read what Prabhupada has written. So Prabhupada has written that.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat pranams. Thanks for the nectarian class. Can you please explain the size of the Paramatma you just read? Can you just repeat it? Thank you.
I will share that again. Okay. Here Prabhupada writes, it's in second canto, second chapter, 8th verse. It says in the purport, right? All power personality Godhead resides as a Paramatma in the heart of each and every living entity. The measurement of the localized personality Godhead is estimated to expand from the ring finger to the thumb of the thumb, and more or less 8 inches. The form of the Lord described in this verse in distribution of different symbols. So further he explained, but he says more or less 8 inches. That's what Prabhupada says.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
It's exactly 8 inches, Prabhu, when you mention.
Doctors will know.
It's, know about the size of the soul, but not heard about the Paramatma or the super soul. You only call it as Vibhu, Anu and Vibhu, but thank you so much for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Wonderful class, Prabhu.
Ashokatma Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you. Any mistakes, please correct me, Prabhu.
I think a lot of awareness you have given, Prabhu. Where is the question of mistake?
Prabhu, one question, not from this class. This Saligrama, it is sculpted by one insect, no, Prabhu?
I'm not sure, like a skull. I mean, they said that Nepal, that kind of Gandaki river, they, they get, but I don't know, sculpted or it's naturally come. Of course,
it's naturally, it is by that worm it happens.
I'm not sure exactly how it happens. I'm not sure, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prasadeshwar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Sankarshna Prabhu. Thank you for your mercy.
Thank you very much for a very nice class, Prabhuji. One quick announcement. Tomorrow is the auspicious day of Ram Navami. So we'll have classes in the temple from 8 to 9. Though I have scheduled a class from 7:15 to 8, we may have to change it. We will have class in the temple from 8 to 9. Grace Makhanlal Prabhu will be giving Ramakatha tomorrow morning. So I request all of you to join and stand by at 8 o'clock. Class will be streamed from the temple.
So nothing at 7:15, directly 8 o'clock.
Yes, that's what he said. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Those who can go to temple, you can go. Those who are, possible, hear the lecture there. And those who cannot, of course, Zoom, Sankarshan Prabhu's mercy is there.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I think there aren't any more questions or comments. We can conclude today's session. So thank you once again, Prabhu. We can conclude with Vaishnav Pranams. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Sikanath Paramanande Hari Hari Bol.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat to you.
So Dandavat Pranams to all. I'll end the session for everybody now.